Hello, smart mathematicians. Let's do question 311. Consider the function f of x is equal to negative 3 tan x. Sketch on the provided grid the graph of f for the domain of 0 degrees to 360 degrees. Clearly show all the intercepts and the asymptotes. Right, where do we find the asymptotes for this graph? At 90 degrees and at 270 degrees. Okay, we're going to also see this when we use the calculator, where to find the asymptotes. Now we need to find our critical points, or the coordinates of our critical points. For the graph of tan x, the critical points will be at 0 degrees, you're counting in 45 degrees, 90 degrees, 135 degrees, 180 degrees, 225 degrees, 270 degrees, 315 degrees, and 360 degrees. So we need to find the coordinates of these critical points. When x is 45 degrees, what is the y? When x is 90 degrees, what is y? And so on. Right, we can use our calculators to do that. Let me just show you how to do it. You can use your calculator for each point. Let's say the first one, you say negative 3, 10, 45. Okay, what is it? Is equal to negative 3. And then you can do for each angle. Then change this one maybe and make it 90. And then you find that 90 says error because that's where the asymptote is. But it's easier to use the table, to use your calculator. Let me show you. You go to mod and then you see where it says table. But in some calculators, the table will be number 3 there. Okay, for in this calculator, it's number 7. So if your table is on number 3, you enter 3. Here is 7, so I'll enter 7. See that? And then I put the function negative 3. This will assist us to just get all the points at once. Turn, and then our variable x, we use alpha, and then x, and then close the bracket. Okay, that's the equation there. Then equals. We don't have the second function, so let's ignore it. Just press equal again. And then start, we're starting from 0. Our domain is from 0 to 360, then equals. And then end, 360 degrees equals. And then we're counting in 45, so our step is 45, every 45 degrees. See that? And then we get all the points. At 0 degrees, y is 0. 45 degrees, y is negative 3. 90 degrees error, that's where the asymptote is. 135 degrees, y is 3. 180 degrees, y is 0. 225 degrees, y is negative 3. 270 error, that's where the asymptote is. Then 315 degrees, y is 3. 360 degrees, y is 0. So we can use these critical points to what? To sketch our graph. Let's just do that. X is 0, y is 0. You plot a point. When x is 45 degrees, y is negative 3. We have our point there. See the point? And then 90 degrees, that's where the asymptote is. And then 135 degrees, 3. 180 degrees, 0. 270 degrees, that's the asymptote. And then we have 315 degrees, 3. And 360 degrees, which is 0. And then let's sketch our graph. We have our graph like this, and like that, and like that. That is the graph of f of x. Now, I want us to try and understand how we can sketch this graph from the parent graph. When I say the parent graph, I mean the graph of f of x is equal to tan x. Okay, because we must know the key features of this parent graph. Okay, let's discuss. The parent graph, the graph of tan, let me call it g of x. G of x is equal to tan x. This graph at 0, y is 0. At 90, at 45 is 1. You must know that. 90 asymptote. And then 135 is negative 1. And then at 180 is 0. At 225 is 1. And then 270 is asymptote. 315, that's negative 1. And then 360, that's 0. And then we can sketch our graph like this. This is the parent graph. Let's look at the equation of f of x. Okay, So it's negative 3 tan x. Let me have another equation. Let's call it h of x. H of x, let's say, is 3 tan x. What is the effect of this 3? It causes vertical stretch. So it means this 45 and 1 changes to 45 and 3. And then 135 and negative 1 changes to 135 and negative 3. This one does not change. This one does not change. And then 225 and 1 changes to 225 and 3. And then asymptote does not change. 315 degrees and negative 1 changes to 315 and negative 3 because of this 3 here. So that's a vertical stretch. And then the graph becomes like this. That's the graph of h of x equal to 3 tan x. Then finally, f of x, which is negative 3 tan x. So negative 3 tan x here is a reflection of h of x about the x-axis. It's a reflection of h of x about the x-axis. So we're reflecting every point of h of x about the x-axis. So this one remains there, but this one is reflected about the x-axis, so it's negative 3. So it becomes like this. And then we're looking at the green graph. That's one which is being reflected. And then negative 3 here is reflected about the x-axis, becomes positive 3. And then 0 does not change. Then this one is reflected about the x-axis, becomes negative 3. It's a reflection about the x-axis. That's a reflection about the x-axis. Okay. And then we have the last part. This one, 315 degrees and negative 3. This is reflected to become positive 3 like this. And then this is the graph. So once you're done, you can erase these other graphs and remain with the graph that you want. And then you can remain with your f of x, which is this graph. So that's another way of sketching the graph.